Hey, Agent. Got something serious for you.
Welcome back. I'm Rick Velassi, and you lucky bastards are listening to Wouldn't You Know It. And if you're listening, that means you really are a lucky bastard. You apparently won the genetic lottery and can't catch the green poison like 95% of the rest of humanity. Oh no, you had it good. You got to sit around eating bonbons, watching people you loved wither and die and get wrapped in hefty bags and dumped in a mass grave with no funeral or gravestone or nothing. Yeah. We got a golden ticket, didn't we? It's like the fucking 80s all over again. But what I want to know is this. The green poison. Where'd it come from? Some yuppie scum millennial helicopter mom refusing to give her kids a goddamn measles shot? I wish. I hate those morons. But this ain't measles. And that ain't the way the world works. And it ain't Ebola or Marburg. It didn't evolve in batshit.
They spent $170 million to make the thing, and it had the lowest opening, under $50 million, of any of these live-action Disney remakes that they've ever had. Even the one that was their worst, Dumbo, did better than this.
No one expected Snow White, one of Disney's most iconic stories, to turn into a cinematic lightning rod. Yet here we are, watching a remake that some critics describe as a puzzling fever. The buzz is so intense that listeners suggest Disney might be pulling merchandise from shelves just to stem the fallout.
Critics are stunned, fans are furious, and the main star, Rachel Zegler, has ignited debate after debate with her outspoken interviews. This situation goes far beyond a single casting decision or a few script tweaks. It's a perfect storm. A once-beloved fairy tale drastically reimagined, a production plagued by ballooning costs and a marketing campaign that was completely skipped out at the last minute. Everyone flipped. Social media, websites, even mainstream news outlets. The consensus is that Snow White 2025 has become Disney's newest cautionary tale. The real question is, how did the story so familiar and adored become so divisive? Some point to corporate missteps and an obsession with modernizing a classic.
Agent, I need you to take care of
negative
her
word of
problem.
mouth, fueled by controversial interviews and glimpses of bizarre reshoots. Or maybe, as skeptics argue, the film alienated core fans by stripping away the romance and dwarfs that once defined it. Strap in, because we're about to explore every angle of this unfolding drama, from rumors that store shelves will soon be stripped of Snow White dolls, to the jaw-dropping box office numbers that left Disney reeling. And at the center of it, all stands Rachel Zegler, the star who insisted this new version would break boundaries. Only to face a torrent of backlash you could have predicted. The heart of any Disney blockbuster isn't just the film itself. It's the massive wave of merchandise that usually accompanies the release. From plastic figurines to elaborate collector's editions, these products often bring in millions of dollars and keep the hype train rolling long after the movie leaves theaters. But in the case of Snow White 2025, rumors suggest Disney is shrinking that retail footprint at a dizzying rate. Early sightings on social media hinted that Snow White-themed items were either vanishing or had never been fully stocked. Parents reported strolling down aisles at local stores and finding minimal signage or merchandise tied to the new film. Some posted photos of empty racks where they expected to see bright, newly branded dresses, dolls, and playsets. Naturally, this triggered speculation. Is Disney outright pulling the plug on Snow White products? Industry insiders are whispering that the studio wants to cut its losses. Merchandise lines can be costly, and producing more items for a film that might be underperforming could feel like pouring water into a sinking ship. While Disney has not made an official announcement confirming any discontinuation, the sudden drop-off in product sightings is enough to make fans suspect a stealth retreat. But why does this matter so much? For Disney, consumer products are a backbone of the brand. A robust merchandise launch not only boosts revenue, but also cements the film's presence in the minds of children and collectors alike. When that rollout fizzles, it sends a grim message. The film either failed to resonate or lost Disney's confidence along the way. Still, this is only part of the story. The merchandise mystery is a symptom, a clue that something bigger went wrong. To see the full picture, we need to venture into the box office meltdown that followed the film's debut. Before Snow White 2025 ever hit theaters, excitement ran high for Disney's latest attempt at retelling a cherished animated classic. Fans of live-action reimaginings had flocked to theaters in the past. eager to see how the new adaptation would handle beloved elements like the dwarves, the iconic songs, and the prince's rescue. Yet once box office numbers started rolling in, the reality landed with a thud. Many screenings were practically deserted, and negative word of mouth spread like wildfire. Insiders reveal that the production budget soared past $250 million.
Better get yourself into a hazmat suit, Agent. We just got word that the experimental antivirals lost in the Dark Zone have been located. There's no time to wait. You and a team need to go secure them.
Instead, opening weekend figures were shockingly low. Critics chalked it up to the film's disjointed storytelling, flawed editing, and an overall sense that Snow White 2025 had strayed too far from the whimsical essence people once adored.
Alex,
Warning.
anticipate the reaction.
Vital signs indicate probable infection.
Latest expensive angle.
Well, the reaction has been absolutely horrible. It is the worst box office for a movie live action remake that they've ever.
As the weeks rolled on, what little momentum the film had seemed to fizzle under waves of scathing reviews. Online reviewers blasted everything from the script's tone to the questionable visual effects. Even fans who enjoy progressive twists on classic fairy tales found themselves scratching their heads, wondering if Snow White had been reinvented purely for the sake of reinvention. The bigger question is why Disney pushed so hard for such a radical rework. Did they assume the brand recognition alone would guarantee success? No matter how different the final product
Infection
was,
progress halted.
whatever the logic, the financial results have raised eyebrows across Hollywood. Traditional Disney enthusiasts have begun questioning whether the studio has lost its golden touch, at least in the realm of these lavish live-action adaptations.
There are empty theaters all around the country.
Core body
We're now
temperature
at
drop.
1 out of 10 on IMDb for the new Snow White. And
The story of poor box office performance would be remarkable on its own. But the real spark for the outrage came from the face of the movie herself, Rachel Zegler. No one anticipated how much Rachel Zegler's remarks would shape the public narrative around Snow White 2025. After a celebrated performance in a previous film, she became Disney's leading lady, a dream opportunity for any rising star. But her interviews painted a picture of someone convinced she was pioneering a new and light version of Snow White. She openly criticized the original fairy tale's love story as outdated.
So no prince or a different kind of prince? We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume it's a love story just because, like, we cast a guy in the movie, Andrew Berna, very cute. It's one of those things that I think everyone's going to have their assumptions about what it's actually going to be, but it's really not about love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way, if anyone can get in 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby. But
She changed the vision that the iconic princess didn't need to be rescued by anyone.
Body temperature is now critically below normal.
At first glance, her determination to portray modern and Snow White seemed admirable to some. But trouble brewed when Ziegler doubled down, labeling critics of the remake as resistant to progress. Animated film's Prince character as a stalwart romance altogether. Though that perspective resonates with a segment of modern viewers, a sizable portion of the is alienated but outright attacked. Why fix what isn't broken? Asked some outraged fans, who argued that you could promote a strong heroine without dismantling the classic romance that made Snow White a household name. Ziegler's stance, they said, came off as arrogant and dismissive of the film's original charm.
It's what I read. The real victory in pieces. And you will be home.
Critics claim she inadvertently turned a wide audience against her, a misstep that number boycott Snow White hashtags began circulating online. These aspiring actors never land such a prominent role. Her off-the-cuff comments about pay,
In response to
schedules,
infection
and
imminent.
changes on set only inflamed the conversation further.
Rachel Zegler has been humbled. The lead actress in Disney's Snow White remake has been brought right back down to earth after making some very tone-deaf comments that haven't translated well amid the horror opening weekend of the movie.
15 hours, I want 18 hours of pay. I'm sure she got underpaid as a Disney lead actress.
But like it wasn't about the movie's plot. It became about her personality, her perceived entitlements, and the question of whether she was biting the hand that fed her. All of this created a perfect storm.
Man, it's not like you were talking for just in your life yourself doing these stunts. It is not like you were Rambo. It's not like you were taking people up at casual price and had the shoulder dislocated and like
negative pre-release buzz, and a product that was quickly earning a reputation as a film that lost its fairy tale soul. But in Rachel Ziegler's actual story changes, the controversies they unleashed, Disney, like any entertainment giant, has been accused before of leaning too heavily on modern messaging. However, with Snow White 2025, critics say the studio went further than ever. In the original 1937 animated masterpiece, the prince's role and the dwarf's companionship were central to Snow White's journey. This new version reportedly strips away the prince's significance and recast the dwarfs in a way that left many fans scratching their
Alert.
heads.
Connection temporarily stabilized.
Suggesting it aligns better with contemporary ideals. Why should Snow White be defined by a romance or overshadowed by 7 male characters? Others feel the beloved story has been gutted of its heart. The dwarves, they argue, aren't simply sidekicks. They symbolize friendship, loyalty, and the warmth of community. Replacing them or drastically altering their presence struck many as a disrespectful break from the very magic that made the tale endure for generations. This debate got tagged as woke versus nostalgia, with each side lobbing critiques at the other.
The reason we had Rachel Ziegler on the docket is she's an asshole. So she came out to the large dump on half of the country, everyone who voted for Trump. So I attacked her, and then she came out and she said, I apologize. I went too far. But it wasn't.
Detractors claim Disney was more focused on activism than storytelling, while supporters fired back that the world has moved on from outdated tropes. The problem, as many neutral observers point out, is that Snow White 2025 apparently fails to weave these modern updates into a coherent, engaging plot.
Don't alienate half of the country when you're putting out a product meant to appeal to all. It's the Michael Jordan.
Then we get new arcs and jarring place sequences that disrupt.
Body temperature dropping below normal
In a
levels.
perfect scenario, studios can refresh old fairy tales, keep the essence intact, and still make new points about empowerment. Films like certain Cinderella or Beauty and the Beast adaptations have tinkered with gender roles or thematic messages without using what audiences found charming in the first place. Snow White 2025, critics argue, lands like a sledgehammer, forcing progressive themes in ways that feel contrived or even cynical. By this stage, many viewers wondered, how could a story beloved for nearly a century unravel so completely? The answer may lie behind the scenes, in the tumultuous production schedule and endless reshoots that turned the film's final cut into a patchwork of disjointed scenes. Leaked reports suggest Snow White 2025 underwent not 1, not 2, but 3 major rounds of reshoots. Each wave was reportedly meant to fix nagging script issues or smooth out awkward sequences. Instead, some involved say these changes created even more chaos. Imagine trying to piece together a puzzle with the image on the box keeps changing.
Detecting lowering of core body temperature. Rate of hypothermia increased.
Major plot points were introduced and scrapped.
Warning.
While visual effects
Vital signs indicate probable infection.
Directives. Even the new dwarfs or dwarfless approach, depending on the iteration, appeared to shift back and forth. By the time the film finished, principal photography
Alert.
well over budget.
Infection progress halted.
Disney apparently realized it had a disjointed narrative on its hands. But with marketing deadlines fast approaching, they had no choice but to forge ahead. Fans who watched the final product describe abrupt transitions and jarring tonal shifts. One moment, characters are engaged in a serious confrontation. The next, they're singing a random tune in matching white outfits. Scenes that might have been powerful in isolation.
Drop in core temperature detected.
Longtime Disney aficionados compared unfavorably to the studio's more polished live-action attempts, saying it lacks the seamless quality the brand is known for. By the time the dust settled, it was too late to unify the footage into a coherent story. Even if test audiences gave lukewarm feedback, the
production had hemorrhaged so much money that scrapping the release entirely was never an option. So the film staggered in theaters, supported by a lukewarm marketing campaign. What little had been generated got overshadowed by negativity swirling around the star and speculation about the dwarf's replacement. Yet this dwarf's controversy was more than just a footnote. For many, it was the final straw. From the moment Disney announced it would revisit Snow White, fans wondered how the seven dwarfs would be portrayed. Due to heightened awareness about representation, did the studio respectfully cast actors with dwarfism, or just tweak the concept entirely? The decision to either minimize or replace these characters with CGI magical creatures caused a firestorm. Critics of the movie insist it robbed the film of one of its most essential elements. The dwarfs weren't mere set dressing. They played key roles in Snow White's journey. In many ways, they symbolized her found family, each with unique quirks and personalities.
Body temperature dropping below normal levels.
By sidestepping that dynamic, the remake was communicating fans who grew up cherishing those distinct dwarfs. On top of that, a new controversy arose when Disney tried to balance progressive values with a desire not to offend. Some fans felt the studio was stuck between two bad choices: hiring three-person actors and risking their or using CGI standards. The final approach, an odd blend of embraced to replace the dwarf. Accusations that Disney was pandering to certain audiences.
Warning. Immune response detected. Infection endemic.
Sense of identity. Dwarfs. Actions for better scratching their heads. I'm sure why the idea set aside were so radically changed.
Yeah, we have more dwarfs. Dwarfs in most of these theaters. Yeah, you're getting burnt up.
The film could get more complicated. Disney's copyright should step in and damage control efforts.
Core temperature is below optimal levels.
With the negativity around Snow White 2025 useful to ignore, eyes turned to Bob Iger, Disney's top executive, for an explanation or some acknowledgement. In a few public statements, Iger seemed to downplay the significance of the swirling controversies, brushing off negative coverage as with rubbing them over the harsh critics. He implied Disney's main goal was to entertain, not push particular messages, though many believe that statement could be far too late. Internal reports suggest that this successful box
Alert.
office
Infection temporarily stabilized.
scaled back its promotional campaign to minimize further losses. Why throw more marketing money at a film that critics and fans were already positioning as a flop? It was a classic business move, but also a toxic mission.
Detecting lowering of core body temperature.
One of its
Threat of hypothermia
releases.
increased.
On Wall Street, some investors grew jittery, citing Snow White 2025 as the latest example of Disney's struggle to juggle big-budget live-action remakes with public expectations. Shareholders feared the brand could be tarnished by repeated misfires if corporate oversight didn't tighten up. The blame game started swirling behind closed doors. Did creative teams overreach? Did marketing drop the ball? Or was the star's outspoken persona the true catalyst for the film's downfall?
She's now bragging about the success of Snow White, which is a movie that's going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars, and mainly because of her, and because nobody wanted to support her.
Regardless of who is at fault, the financial toll speaks volumes. With rumors of a final budget well over $250 million, Snow White 2025
Core body temperature dropping.
box office haul just to break even. But with each passing day, negative reviews and social media backlash choke off any chance for a box office rebound. Analysts predict the movie could end up in the red by hundreds of millions. A stark reminder that even Disney can't rely on brand nostalgia when the execution feels off-key. What does this mean for the future of Disney's beloved classics? Some say the studio must drastically rethink how it modernizes iconic stories. Others warn that no matter what direction Disney tries, the damage from this fiasco could linger, shaping everything from the next live-action adaptation to broader corporate strategies. The ripple effects of Snow White 2025 extend beyond just this single production. For years, Disney's formula of revamping classic animated hits into
Detecting lowering of core body temperature. Threat of hypothermia increased.
Like the Jungle Book or Beauty and the Beast brought
Warning.
in
Infection detected.
audiences would flock to theaters for a fresh spin on old favorites.
This time, however, reporters buckled under the weight of messy storytelling and leading star inadvertently sparked public animosity. Insiders say the fiasco has triggered serious introspection for other remakes, especially to address it from the source material. Fans are also on high alert. Several rumors surfaced about big creative shifts to an upcoming adaptation. The era of rubber stamping any big budget remake on the assumption of guaranteed success might be ending. But when Snow White salvage, focus from a future director's cut or streaming release.
Hey, get the fuck out of here!
Others say any version could fix the film's structural flaws,
asshole.
especially now that the negative reputation is so entrenched. Public perception is notoriously difficult to shift once an avalanche of bad buzz gains momentum. Social platforms debates rage on. Some viewers who actually enjoy the film's modern messages critics of resisting social progress. Opponents counter that a classic film is sacrificed on the altar of forced wokeness. In truth, both sides agree on at least one point.
What the fuck done?
Magic that makes Disney's best work enchanting. Meanwhile, Rachel Ziegler remains a lightning rod. She continues to advocate for
What the fucking ass.
Body temperature has reached critically low levels. Core body temperature drop. Core temperature is dipped below optimal levels. Alert. Infection progress halted.
Attention. JTF operation.
Drop in core temperature detected. Warning. Immune response detected. Infection imminent. infection temporarily stabilized. Vital signs indicate probable infection.
This is on your head.
Temperature is now below what is required for normal metabolic function. Core temperature is dipped below optimal levels.
Y'all ready for this? Oh yeah! Let's go! You ain't paying the price! We got that road! Won't be long now! Kill them! Leave you in pieces!
temperature is now hypothermic. Alert. Infection progress halted. Drop in core temperature detected. Alert. Infection temporarily stabilized. Core temperature is now below optimal levels. Detecting lowering of core body temperature. Threat of hypothermia increased. body temperature drop.
All JTF facilities are closed for the next 24 hours. For your own safety, remain indoors and do not attempt to travel for any reason.
Body temperature is now critically below normal. Warning. Infection detected. Alert. Infection progress halted. Body temperature dropping below normal levels.
I was out and I was in.